good night everyone. My name is Mahmoud and I am 15 years old. And today I'm giving my second speech in Career Toastmaster, which is about career organizing. So, the topic of my speech today is 3 of the problems that service providers face when dealing with their clients. And a service provider could be a designer, a developer, a marketer, whatever service you offer that requires dealing with clients all the time. I think you will probably face one of these problems. And just before I get started, I would like to tell you about something that is pretty much related to what I'll be speaking about today. I'm working as a website designer, a part-time job, and a couple of days ago I received an email from one of my clients that I was designing a website for, and he told me the following. I don't like the black border around the images. I want you to get rid of it. When you hear this sentence for the first time, I think you would think it's okay. The client doesn't like something about the design and he wants you to change it. But actually, when you take the time to think about it and critically analyze this sentence, you will figure out that it's a disaster in its own right. And that's what I did. I started analyzing this statement and I came up with 3 problems that I will be speaking about today. So the first problem that I found in this email or in this statement is something that's called master-servant relationship. That is to say, the client thinks of himself or herself as the master, and you, the service provider or the designer, the developer, you are the servant. And you start taking control over the project and tell you what you should do and you shouldn't do, as if he was your art director or your manager or the one in response for this project. And it gets so frustrating to you. You start telling your clients, no, this shouldn't be done this way. And the clients start thinking of you as a negative person and tell you, why don't you understand? You are so negative. Why don't you understand that I want my logo to be Mason, or I want it to be as shiny as Google? And because of all this hassle that's going on, you start losing the will to work on this project anymore. You start telling your clients to go ahead and find someone else to work with. And you know how the servant gets fed up with his master and he winds up killing him? That's exactly what you do. You start killing your project. So now the problem is obvious. Let's see how can we avoid such a problem. Okay, to avoid such a problem, I think the solution should be made through the client and the service provider. For the service provider, I think he has to be the expert. And what I mean by that is, the service provider needs to be aware of all the things that are required to get this project done successfully. So he has to be aware of the estimated budget, the skill set, etc. Because if you're not aware of these things, you're not going to be able to deliver the things that your clients are expecting, and therefore, not surprisingly, you're not going to get paid, and you're wasting your time, efforts, and money. So if you are working on a project and you are the service provider, you need to be aware of the things that are required to get this project done successfully. As for the client usually, especially in industries like design and development, doesn't really appreciate the service that's being offered to them. They think that it's an easy job. It wouldn't take you much time to get them. So I think clients, when working with their service providers, you need to trust them and really appreciate the service that's being offered to them. So back to our email and the second problem, which is focusing on the problem itself instead of focusing why this problem actually exists. And let me give you an example to illustrate that to you. When the client told me that he doesn't like the black border around the image, he doesn't give me an idea why he doesn't like it. I don't know. Yes, I can find a solution for this problem by getting rid of the border, but now I don't know the reason behind this problem. Maybe the client doesn't like black colors, maybe he doesn't like borders at all, regardless of their color. So I don't have a clue about why this problem actually existed. And therefore, this problem could exist again and again and again. So the solution for this problem is to focus on why this problem actually existed. And from there, we find the solution for this problem. And let's see what happens when we really focus on the reason behind the problem. Let's say instead of the client telling me that he doesn't like the black border around the image and leaving me lost, He could have said, I don't think the black border is matching with my target audience who are teenagers. And in that case, now I know the reason behind the problem and can avoid it, and even come up with a better solution. Tell my clients, okay, what do you think about changing that to something like pink or blue, something that's more attractive to teenagers? And now I have a better solution for my problem. So the next time you're facing a problem, try to focus on why this problem actually existed and the reason behind it, and come up with a solution from there. The third problem that I found in that email, if you just remember what the client said, he said, I don't like. But the question is, clients, do you really have to like every little thing about the service that's being offered to you? I don't think you have. I mean, there are a lot of other things that you could worry about. Like, this service, is this service cost effective? Is it helping the message you're trying to convey or deliver to your audience? Is it bringing you income? There are a lot of other things that you need to worry about rather than your personal taste or your personal feel. So the next time you're working on a project, if you are the client, try to respect your service provider and appreciate the service that's being offered to you. And you don't have to like each and every little specific thing about the service. If you are the service provider, try to focus on why the problem actually existed and come up with a solution from there. And also, when you are working on a project, try to be the expert and try to put in mind the things the things that are required to get this project done successfully. Thank you.
I'll now evaluate Mahmoud's speech. And I want to start by saying, Mahmoud, really enjoyed that. Really, truly enjoyed that speech. And the point of this speech, his second speech, is called Organize Your Speech. That was clear. You had a very nice organization of your speech. Very orderly beginning, middle was clear, ending went right back. So good on you for that. What I liked in the middle was you used examples. You stuck to the one about the border, and you pulled so much out of that. Advice for the service provider, advice for the client. Looking at the problem this way, looking at the problem that way. And I have to be honest, I had to struggle at first because it's not my world. This is not my world, and I had to work at being in that world for the sake of being in your audience. And you made it quite easy, actually, for me to do that. So that was a very targeted speech, and it seems to me that your target audience would enjoy it and would probably have some insight, maybe, to what it's like to be on the other side of the contract that they've signed. So I found you had some good insights in your speech as well for both parties of that agreement. What worked really well as well was you gave some examples. For example, is it cost effective? Does it bring income? And maybe those are more important than whether you like it. Nice idea. Maybe it's true, right? We think we have to like everything, and you're saying, yeah, maybe not. So I like the fresh ideas in there as well. And I like that you had opinions, and you were not afraid to have them up here. There was a real logical dissection, too, of this problem, which I appreciated and see as part of maybe your style. It's my first time to see you speak. I'll be interested to see what comes up in speech 3. You had some nice transitions as well. You'd say, for example, back to our email, or getting around to this point. So you kept on coming back, coming back, coming back. That made it easy to follow. And the ending was advice again, right? So from this point of view, for the service provider, you said this, and for the client, you said that. So that was very clear, very easy. And advice for you, I was sitting here, and I had a lot of your eye contact, and I wasn't sure that was true on this side of the room. So I would love to make sure that you're really seeing everyone, not just roving eyes, but eyes that really lock on briefly, and then lock on briefly, and make sure you're sampling the room, trying to see as much as possible. And even, you were using your hands, and I challenge you next time to really put them on purpose, really get them on purpose. You used them nicely and fairly generic. See if you can practice rehearse on purpose with the hands as well, almost like you're coordinating an orchestra. Okay? Lots to work with. So well done. Really appreciated that. Thank you.